Hi, this is Alex Fensky. I'm the lead agent for the Chicago Southland Homes team at Keller Williams Realty, and I want to talk with you today about your property taxes, specifically the reassessment that everyone is undergoing here in Chicago's South suburban communities. I hope to bring you a message of comfort because it's probably not as bad as you think. Here's what's going on. Everybody in the Southland area is getting reassessment notices. What that means is that every few years, the county reestablishes updated property values for all of the property in the county. And those are the values that they use to calculate your taxes, your property taxes. And because there's so many properties out there, they can't do them every year and they can't do them all at once. They're done on a periodic schedule. Will County does them every 4 years, and this year is the reassessment year. Cook County, it depends on which part of the county you're in, but this year is the South suburban townships are being reassessed, and that happens every 3 years in Cook County. Both of those happen to be going on right now. So like my Facebook feed is full of people that are like, oh my God, my property tax, my assessment doubled. My taxes are going to double. My assessed value tripled. My taxes are going to triple. I am here to tell you that is not going to happen. I'll do some simple math and I'll show you why. So the way that property taxes are calculated may not be exactly how you thought. It is really complicated. And what I've done here is create an oversimplification, but it works the same way that the real system works. By the way, I've already checked all this with my property tax attorney. So like, this is legit. Okay. The first thing that happens is all of the taxing districts, which is like the school district, the library district, the road district, the police and fire districts, the mosquito abatement districts, all of those are taxing districts, and they all operate off of tax funds. And every year they produce and turn in a budget. And every year the county treasurer takes all those budgets, adds them all together, and that becomes the total amount of the tax levy for that year. So in this case, I said $1 billion. We like to have big tax levies in Illinois, so $1 billion worth of taxes are needed in order to run all that government stuff. At the same time, there's a different governmental agency, the county assessor, and the assessor's job is to assign values to each of the properties, so they know how much value to tax you on. And so the assessor values all the properties. You total up the total assessed value of all the properties, and that's your total assessed property value in this hypothetical taxing district, and it's $10 billion. So you got $1 billion worth of taxes that's going to be allocated to $10 billion worth of property. 1 divided by 10 billion is 10%. So that would make your tax rate 10% in this hypothetical area. If your home was assessed at a value of $100,000, you would be taxed at a rate of 10% of that, which means your tax bill would be 10% times $100,000 equals $10,000. That's how your taxes are calculated in real life. There's more to it. But this is how it works. Now, here's what's happening this year. Let's look at what's going on in the reassessment year. Let's say that the tax levy doesn't change. Now, I don't know whether it will or not, but that won't be figured out until next year. But what we're working with is the 2023 values. Now, everybody knows that your property value went up like crazy. You know it did. And if you've sold a home recently or bought a home recently, you know how much values have come up. It's been a ton. And they haven't revisited values in several years. So naturally, they're all coming back high. But all you're seeing is your assessment bill. So you see your assessment double from 100 to 200. You go, oh my God. And you go post on Facebook, I can't believe this. My values, my tax bill is going to double. I'm going to have to move. But here's what's going on is that everyone's values being increased that much because it's a reassessment year. So what happened is everyone, I need an extra zero there, everyone's value went up. And so now you got $20 billion worth of value in this particular district. And so the tax rate, because it's $1 billion divided by 20 billion, is now 5%. Tax rate went down because the tax levy didn't go up. Only the property values did. So what happens is you take your 5% tax rate times your $200,000 property, and guess what you get? The exact same amount. Your property value doubled, your assessed value doubled, but your taxes didn't go up. This is how the math works, I promise you. Now, realistically, the total tax levy does go up over time. And that's because the stuff it pays for goes up in cost over time. I mean, a police car doesn't cost the same in 2023 as it cost in 2019. Neither does a teacher's salary. Neither does a bag of asphalt. I don't even know if you buy asphalt in bags. But nothing that the governmental services provide costs the same. Of course, that's always the case. It's the same case for your household. So let's say that the total tax levy went up by 10%. That would be a pretty big increase, 10% increase. And let's say that at the same time, we got this reassessment year going on, and it's $20,000 or $20 billion. The tax rate in this scenario would be 5%. Your value, $200,000, and your tax bill is going to be, I'm sorry, I erased one too many ones. Your tax bill is going to be $11,000. That's a 10% increase. But look, it didn't go up because your value went up. It went up because the tax levy went up. And guess what? The tax levy went up by 10%, and your tax bill went up by 10%. So it doesn't matter if your home's value is reassessed at a higher amount when everyone's value is being reassessed at a higher amount. By the way, it works the same going down. During the Great Recession, when property values were plummeting and assessed values were plummeting, all the property value went down. The tax levy didn't go down. Your taxes didn't go down. Taxes don't go down over time. They go up. It's always the case because of inflation. So here's the only thing you're trying to prevent. And this is where you want to take a look at things. What you want to prevent is a situation in which everyone's property values didn't go up, but yours did. Or another way to look at that is to say that yours went up more than everyone else's. So let's say in this case, we're working with that same $10 billion, but your value went up to $150,000. Now, with the same tax levy as in our original example, $1 billion, same tax levy, same values for everybody except you. Your value went up by 50%. Well, if you do that, better believe it, your taxes go up by 50%. But that's if your property is the only one that got reassessed. And that's only going to happen depending on when you bought it and what you paid for it and things like that. So it's worth looking at this. If you're not sure what's going on with your assessed value and your tax bill, give me a call, shoot me a message. I can look this stuff up easily. I can refer you to a property tax attorney who can handle these sort of matters. If it's not something that's just simple, and I'm more than happy to do that. Above all, I just want you to kind of take a deep breath and a sigh of relief that your property taxes are not going to double because of the reassessment. Reach out with any questions. I'll be happy to answer them.